Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I am going to spend some time today in the Hobo Avec Cousin, the second half, in the Alatoni cover, which is the brown one from last year. And the first thing I want to do, right off the bat, is come along here. I should cross off these months. October is done, and we are on the 13th. I think we're on the 13th today, you guys. No. Yesterday was Remembrance Day. We're on the 12th today. So I've done a flip of most of this book already, but here I was doing word of the day, and I used a crossword that was sort of like holiday themed for these words. So as you can see here, like yesterday's word of the day would have been stuffing, and then it says history. I like that one, actually. And then it says tradition, turkey, warmth. Okay, so Die Hard, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, James Bond. Okay, so November's not too bad, and neither is really December. But part of me is thinking that I want to do a double-decker of these and incorporate like an overflow, like a flip up. Because as much as I like these words, for example, Toy Story, for example, I want these words to be more specific to my everyday. So the first thing I did was just grab one of the sheets out of this Daiso book with the calendar. And that's a really bright yellow. It's hurting my eyes, actually, but... and please grab yourself a drink, something cozy. It's very early in the morning. And I'm going to cut these out. Hopefully I did it right. And of course, I could have come along and whited them all out if I wanted to, but sometimes if I don't want to waste that much whiteout, or if I want to do like what I'm thinking now, a double-decker, so dual meaning for the pages, I'll just cut them out. And that's what I'm doing here. It doesn't matter to me if it's white or it's off-white. It matters to me mainly that the grid lines up, and thankfully for me it does. Now, again, the disclaimer, you guys, I ended up having to run out yesterday. Which was a small miracle in more ways than one. But I'll get into that at another time. It was a good thing, but thankfully my pneumonia is not contagious. But it was hard on my body, and I was out for about 2 hours. And when I came home, I was just like done, tired. So, and sometimes we have to do that, right? Like, all of you out there, I know you know. So I'm looking at this one here too, and I could have actually used this one as well, which would have been whiter. But then I don't get the length here. So this one has the date and then the Chinese marking or the Japanese marking beside it. I'm just going to overlay that. And then on here, I'm going to overlay this one. Now there's only 30 days in November and they've got 31 here, so. So yeah, there was some news I was waiting on. And I'd been planning for a while. I'm not saying a word to anybody. And I like I said, I can't really go into it because I will, but it's good news. So, all right, so these are now flip-ups. Now I don't mind having flip-ups in my book. You've seen here how I've done it here and here and here. And while I'm on here, I'm going to put the gratitude in because every day, and I mean every day, I get up and I thank the Heavenly Father that I'm upright, vertical, there's air in my lungs, I have enough to eat, there's health of my family, there's friends. No matter how hard sometimes life is for me, when I look at it, I'm actually, like, I've been so blessed, you guys. Just life, knowing you guys, knowing whatever I walk through the hard stuff, at the end of that hard stuff, it's like I transition into something better. And it just, yeah, there's just a lot of gratitude in that. So I'm just writing out the words gratitude because I know back in September I was struggling, only because that's when I decided, okay, without announcing it to the community or anything else, okay, what is it that I wanted to do for me? And I guess I have, believe it or not, I guess I have the launch of the planner books to thank for this, because in our community, planner like season starts, if you will, like, and I'd rather it be called planner season than cold and flu season or any other season. It starts back in September. Well, like, I didn't do anything in July and August really here, except lay down a sticker. I did write in September, remember to be kind and loving to yourself. That was very important. Then I wanted to go camping. Well, this year, unfortunately, I didn't get to go out as much as I wanted to, but that's fine. And I had all these other things that I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, I had one main goal. So, and then it also propelled me into this, okay, my last Cousin Avec was very, like, there's nothing in it. So I thought, I don't want to end weak. I want to end strong. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape on that. So I could have covered up here, but you'll see what I'm going to do up here. So I'm going to find a nice little sticker, because most of you know that I take my books and turn them into sticker books. And I think my hairs are falling out everywhere. So it doesn't quite come down to the bottom, but that's fine. If I really was concerned over that, I'd fix it, and I'll show you in just a second. Yeah, I must be losing hair, you guys. So if you see my hair, it's not like I'm showing you my hairbrush or anything, but okay. Let's get I've got to clean all my scissors. They get kind of guppy. Okay, where's that other piece? All right, so now down here, I'm gonna need another flip up, and I still have some of this paper, so we're gonna use this, and it's almost exactly like that. So let's cut it here. And we'll do the flip up the other way. That way I can still see what's underneath it. I don't know what to call this video except, you know, being creative, I suppose. And then the same goes for here. See, that one also fits pretty much the same. Just going to cut a little bit off. And I'm going to lift this baby up and tape this as well. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially making pockets. Okay, so casserole cooking, yeah, okay, so I'm not really into that one either, so we're going to cover that one up. And in here, there's two things that I really want to, where's that Muji pen? I'm going to write some key dates here. Now, this really could be used as a index, which would be a really good way of going, like, especially if you're using like the back pages as like a common planner. So some of the days in here that I want to remember are the 11th, because the 11th is in Canada Remembrance Day, and I don't think I'll ever forget that. And then what else goes on in November? And then I'm just going to write pneumonia. It might be misspelled, but I'm just going to write highlights up here. So I started word of the day because I couldn't figure out what to put here to begin with. And there are literally so many different avenues to explore in this section, like so many. I'm sure many videos have been done on it, but if you want my take on like some of them that I would do, that I've done. I've done this book now for at least 5, maybe 6 years. I want to say 5 safely, maybe 6. I'm not sure. I'd have to go up. Did I do 2019? I think I did. I think Hobonichi. I went from like planning in my other books to hearing all about Tomoe River paper. Okay, I don't want to see the casserole. And like being curious and wondering why like paper like that was, especially since like I grew up around paper. Like my stepfather had a printing press or printing shop, and we spent as kids, my stepbrothers and I spent a lot of time around paper. So, but I never heard of Tomoe River paper, so I was, of course, completely like, what is this? So now I'm going to give it another flip up here, just because I can. Just like that. And so there's our little flip up there, our flip up here, and the flip. So this is the month we're in. So of course you could use each and every one of these lines to say, okay, well, I'm tracking all of these things, right? Low spend, gratitude, movement, water, etc., etc., etc. So you don't have to have trackers every single step of the way, and it's the same with here. You don't have to have that. And I think, like, if I wanted to do that, I'm just thinking how I would do that. So I could, because these are like, this one's not quite in alignment. Maybe I'll use this one because that one's not in alignment. There we go. All right, so that one flips over like that. It's kind of funny, like it flips there and it flips there, but that's okay. We'll do that. So, like if I wanted to, okay, and then underneath here, from the 16th to the end of the month, I can do other things. So I haven't lost my words under here, but now I can do tracking up here. So I want to come back up to the top and just fill these lines in. And because I used tape, and perhaps I shouldn't have before I actually wrote things in, but it's not really a big deal. All right. So being that that pops up like that, I can always take like one of these at the end of it and fix that. I'll show you in just a minute. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put gratitude, which is indicated by a heart. And then I want H2O, and then movement, vitamins, what else do I track on a daily basis? I'm going to call it down here, I'm going to do power hour or puttering hour, depending on my energy level. So, you know, there could be P1, which is low energy, P2, mid, and P3, high. So power hour, until right here, power hour, low, medium, and high. And that's just 60 minutes throughout the day, not all at once. For example, you know, I have pneumonia. Obviously, I won't be able to push at a high level speed to get that quote unquote power hour done. So I might have 11 minutes in me. And that 11 minutes might be a snail's pace, but it doesn't matter. I'm moving, I'm doing, I'm content. And during all of that time, I can be, you know, listening to an audiobook, music. I could be, you know, immersed in the now, which means I'm not really thinking. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, I could be all sorts of things. Okay. So, and then I'm going to put walk. Now, this one here, I'm going to star it because I have a color coding system for the walk. And the color coding system I've already indicated at some point. Where if it's under a certain color, I'm just looking here, you guys, to see if I put it, but if let's see. I know it looks like a big old mess now, but so this is brown. There's orange over here. Let's balance these colors up. And these flag tapes, I think they're called, they are super thin. So let's get them. I think there's even two there. Okay, let's cut that. Okay. So that's good. It's clear at least. I mean, if I was to put this tape there, it would actually stick, and then I wouldn't be able to pull it up. Same down here. So I'm going to sacrifice another one of these guys. because under here, I have these words. So for now, that will just go like that. And now it's not flipping all over the place. And you could do this for hidden journaling as well. So I'm not going to jump ahead till December. I think when I do that, because this is a lot of it is like food, but December is going to be crazy busy for me in another way. Again, I'll get into that later. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put my gratitude. And I kind of wish I didn't use the tape, but there is a fix for it. And my voice, I don't know if you guys can notice, it's starting to sound better, so maybe I'm on the mend. And that is from me thanking all of you guys, because I have received so many like kind words from everybody, asking me, telling me to take care of myself, and that the prayers were with me. You guys rock. You absolutely rock. Especially since, like, I talked to the doctor today, and like, I know I have to go in and get like a an oxygen monitor, but I have one on my phone, on my iWatch anyway. Like, it's an app on my iWatch, and I had to employ it, which I guess, you know, like technology to a certain extent. Like, I'm not a technological fan in some regards, mainly because I don't understand it, and I get frustrated with it. However, like, God, I keep dropping stuff, you guys. You'd laugh at me if you could see this. Maybe not. You've known me by now. But what I didn't understand about the iWatch is here anyway, is that, say I was walking. I knew about this because one of my doctors told me to get it. Say I was walking, and my balance like was off, or something happened and I passed out. Well, the ambulances connect to these, and all my medical information pops up on their screen. They know exactly what I'm allergic to, exactly issues I've had, etc., etc., etc. And so, yes, like, to a degree, I'm there. I think where, like, I worry, I suppose, is technology is always 20 years used by the time it comes to us, and like what they call the civilian market. I know this because I was in the military. I mean, I was a supply tech in the military, so I know this for sure. I'm just going to take this baby off for a second, because we're gonna see if this will work. Yeah, okay, we're gonna take that brown color off in November. And the reason I'm doing this is because I can't write on tape, so I have to put highlight white on it. Okay, and it also keeps that down. So now let's try this again. Where is that other ruler? Oh, good, here we are. So my iPhone, I just had to download an app on the health site for oxygen, and as long as I'm wearing the watch, it monitors my oxygen levels, and then if it gets too low, I get a phone call. So lucky for me, it hasn't been too bad, and it keeps me at a hospital, because first of all, going into a hospital is very expensive, like thousands of dollars a day. Like, even though people think in Canada we have free medical. We actually don't. Somebody's paying for it. And I'm phobic. I have no desire to go into the hospital whatsoever. It's not my deal. So, like, yeah. I don't know how I got on that tangent, you guys. But this pen looks like it's kind of, I'm going to see if it's smearing. Sometimes these Muji pens smear. I got a free box. This is blue black ink. I got a free box at the Muji store in Vancouver when I bought a couple of books. So now I forget what I had here, but I'm going to put gratitude. AM routine. I don't like, why did I put that? Okay, I'm just going to put meds, H2O. The reason I don't like to put just AM routine is because it's too generalized. And I do have yeah, it's in the daily book. That's right. Okay. The one that I showed yesterday. H2O, vitamins, OMAD. OMAD, for those of you that don't know, is 1 meal a day. And then hobby. I'm going to put hobby. No, I had power hour. Did I not? Yes. Because I do my hobbies. I mean, nobody has to remind me to do my hobbies. Huh. Power. See, that's a bit messy, but that's okay. Power hour. Now, I'm just going to put for low, medium, and high. And this is for 60 minutes. So I decided to change what I was doing before here, even though this doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing, right? But I could always come along and get a different color in there. So let's get a different color in there. So it's brown. I don't know. Do I have brown? Yeah, I do. Let's see if I can do that without smearing it. Slow is the name of the game, you guys, because I have to tape over top of it. If you can't hear my words, I am so sorry, you guys. I can barely even hear myself. And now I'm going to tape over the top. And the reason I want to do that is because this pen will smear if I don't. So most of my books, if I wanted to, and I've never done it yet, I could start November. Like either at the end of November or early December. I could do that. Never done that before. I always started in January. But I know that January is going to be like a whirlwind. So up here, I've got word of the day. So I'm going to just write word of the day. Gratitude. So that's what's under these pages here. And it looks really hard to read. You have to get up and see it. So it's gratitude, morning routine, meds, water. I put H2O. I can't even read my own writing. What is that one? Walking? Is that walking? Yeah, I think it is. OMAD. Okay, so I'm gonna come up here and do walking. For me, walking is important because it makes me feel like absolutely the best I can, like physically. And it's my level of exercise too. I mean, who am I kidding? I do have a rebounder, a small little trampoline. But walking is just my own pace, you know, out in nature. So we are now here on the 12th. So I, right off the bat, feel gratitude. I know I did yesterday, so I'm going to back up to yesterday. I did do this one too. I don't use like the rings on my phone. I don't like that. I did take my medication yesterday. I did not drink half my water, so I'm just going to do half. I wish I could say I did, but walking. I did do walking, but I would probably say a quarter. I don't know. I didn't check. For me, with pneumonia, doing a quarter of my walking, which is probably 3,000 to 3,500 steps yesterday, that's pretty good. Because it's very important for me that I fight tooth and nail. Like this thing is getting better. The antibiotics are kicking in. I haven't had to go on steroids, although I came this close. And I think it's because I'm a Gen X and I fight. I fight my physical body. I say, nope. You need juice? I'll get you juice. Speaking of juice, I'm going to pause and get some juice. I'll be right back. Okay, so the next part was OMAD. I did not eat yesterday, so I'm just going to put a circle with a line through it. This was... Okay, that was the power hour. No, because I ended up having to do something else. So I didn't do any cleaning, basically. So power hour is cleaning. And until I get used to my own terminology, like, I have to write it down like that. So here we are today, brand new day. And then in here, I'm just going to write word of the day because that's what I did. Plus gratitude. So I don't know if you guys needed like any recommendations on how to do these. There's many videos done on it. I just thought I'd put in my 2 cents and how don't be afraid to change. I didn't want to use up all my white up, so I just used paper. And then let's go to the weekly. Now, I don't have time to do the entire weekly, but I have been going back and adding in like color and stuff as I can, appointments where I can. Like this one here. So that was last week. I did up to Wednesday. But then again, on Thursday, I started to get, see? This is when, did I write it in the wrong one? I did. So this week should have been here. Because that week and this week, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just put a sticky tab and say fix it. So, this information is for next week. So, because, yeah, I canceled the appointments here. And then on this Thursday, see, I started to feel sick here because I had an appointment with my doctor here who was off here from her shot, her vaccine. She had the COVID shot and the flu shot. And she's, I would say, I don't know how old she is. You know, some people retain their age. She's also Italian. So, you know, like some people retain their age. I've never known how old she is, but I would say she's probably 19 years older than me if I had to guess off my mind. And so she was off, not feeling well, and then she texted me. I was surprised because she texted me late, like 9:15 or something. And I should have really listened to myself. So, and what I mean by that is I don't really hang with a lot of people. And because I don't, my immune system is naturally low. And yet, I haven't yet learned that yet. And so I went in, and already here, I started to feel sick. Didn't know why. Should have known why, but didn't. Then I spent the entire weekend, like this whole week anyway, it was an emotional roller coaster because I was coming off of 2 drugs, the last stage of like 2 really heavy duty drugs. And then this week here, I decided to cancel appointments. And there was a couple of reasons involved in that. But for the most part, yeah, that's right. So, no, that's right, because this week, let's take that out. I'm sorry, you guys. Because this week she was off. So I have to finish that. I'm waiting for this pantry thing to come in, although I won't be putting that up together right away. Let's see. Yeah, picked up my prescription. I tried to get them to deliver my second one, and for some reason they weren't answering the phone, and I didn't ever call these guys because I was on the... This is my other doctor that's across the pond that gives me my prescriptions, you know, as I was withdrawing. There's no peer-reviewed paper on the medication I was coming off of. I am happy to report to you all that not only have I come off this very, very highly addictive medication, but I'd been on it 17 years, put on it in the military, never got a say to whether I was on it, and I've started to write the paper to be peer-reviewed for it. No, I'm not trained in writing papers for the medical world, but I am the guinea pig. So, and I am a writer. So it can be, all I want is it to be put on the mark. Like somebody can look at it and go with it, because when I was looking to withdraw from it, there was nothing. They had nothing on to come out of it. So we're already here. Is that right? Yeah. So we're here. Are we on Wednesday? Yeah. So here was Remembrance Day. I also had to go out. I'm just going to put out because I'm trying to be a little bit more until like more information comes in. And then since I was out anyway and my daughter wanted to see something, I said I'd take her to Michael's. And to Michael's. She crochets beautifully, you guys. Okay, so then I came home. And was like done. D-O-N-E, like flat out done. All right, and then in here I did some YouTube videos. I did YouTube videos here. I'm going to write Catherine's off this week. As for Wednesday, I put a great big November 12th, because this was a sticker pack. Like, these were expensive sticker packs too. That was the last one. These ones I got at, I want to say Daiso. They were very expensive. They were like $2.79. Yeah. They're pretty, but no more. Especially since I like that better. Okay, so, and of course the sticker would be right over top when I'm supposed to get the call from the doctor. So I'm just going to put here, doctor calls. I forgot, take temperature. Yesterday, my temperature was really high, you guys. Like, I was like at close to 102. Temp was. But like I said, we're Gen X's. I don't know a single Gen X, not one, that a simple temperature of 102 will stop dead on. Like, we are so used to putting everybody else first that we might feel like crap, but we tell ourselves, you know what? I don't believe you. It's so true, you guys. My temperature here on Monday, however, that was in the scary zone. That was over 102. Like, that's why, like, I was worried. So I knew I had to get on antibiotics and fast. But I didn't know it was that high until probably here. And then antibiotics. Had to be increased because I was already on them. Now the highest ones are 650 milligrams of this kind that I'm on. And here on Saturday, I got a phone call somewhere in here. Was it here? Was it Sunday? So I'd called. Now for us here where I live, you call 611, okay? Or you can go to the emergency. But if you're already ill and you call and you go in, not only will you pick up everything that everybody else has got, but you're putting yourself at risk. And it's not an ABC. So an ABC is airways, breathing, and like your heart, your cardiovascular. So I called these guys. They had a doctor call. And I think I did not do video because I was like pretty much out, flatlined. And then antibiotics. He could tell just by looking at me anyway. And then I had to activate. Now I'm fortunate because my kids live by, my youngest daughter lives close by. So, in fact, she was going to take a trip and put it off so she'd be close by. So I had to activate the Oxygen app. And then I'm just going to say phone. Why do I always do that? iWatch. In the iWatch app. And then I took it easy. Now, I don't get sick that often, but folks, when I get sick, I get sick. So my doctor, my regular doctor, was off because this was Remembrance Day. Probably spelling that wrong, you guys. And then she's off, and she's off. Okay, and then basically I need to add in color, I need to write to-dos, and I have to be careful because I do not want to overdo it. So what I do want to do is go back to this where I started. we're here. So I know that I'm not going to get more than 10,000 steps in today. And because I color code here, my walks are color coded. I'm just going to come along and color code right there. So, and I'm just going to use this guy right here. I waist it right. He's cute, so I can flip back and forth. And I'm going to come in here today at various times and just like add color. So that was last week. Finish this week up. Work on this week. And then I'm not going to put any more weekly kits down for this. Yeah, I think I'm going to like leave it as such. And then here are the daily pages. And I haven't been doing much. Okay, so this is just like a reminder. These ones are hard to see. So I just tipped in some like plastic. I like the sound of it. I was just putting notes on various different days. This one I did last with you. Somebody asked where I got these Anna Green Gable stickers. These were included as a gift with purchase. However, if you go on Etsy and type in Anna Green Gables, there are tons that come up, you guys. Tons and tons and tons. So that was the last 2 days, was the 4th and 5th that I did dailies on. And so I have like a couple of days. That was yesterday. I don't think I'll ever forget yesterday. I'm just going to put some. There's some things that I want to put down and show you guys, and some things that I can't put down and show you guys yet, because I will, but I can't yet. So, and what's in the back here? So timetable, book list. I actually want to fill that out. And then my 100. So I do want to fill those out. And we are here today. So let's use this one. And then let's see if I can put a little sticker on that. My stomach is not happy with me. I have done so far close to a 40-hour fast, apart from apple juice. But that's fine. Okay, so I've done that side, and now I'm going to do this side. And I've been doing super long videos, so today I'm going to keep it short and just show you I'm working on this book and give you a quick little flip. I like these a lot, so I think I'll be doing my dailies a lot like that. And like we're near the end, and I've got to start like hauling out my other books and figuring those out. I've got like 15 projects on the go, as well as dealing with pneumonia, you guys. So, but that all being said, I still enjoy very much filming. I did leave all the words of the day up, as you can see. So that was July. And like I said, at any time I could come back in here and fart around. This was a very experimental. I do not like that picture of that bird. So let's get rid of that. I don't like that. They look like they're doing something not appropriate. So yeah, but the great thing like about books is that you can experiment with them. I experiment with them, and I think it's enjoyable to be different and to look at everybody else's. And I'm really making an effort not to look at everybody's setup videos, because two things. I don't want to be influenced by things I don't need. For me, like, I think if you want more and more stuff, like, I'm all for it. I have been a maximalist for years. I'm just at the point now where I'm looking around going, man, like, even if I used all my stuff right now, come on, but that's me. Like, that's my personal choice. I don't like it when other people tell other people what they should be doing. Nobody has a right to judge somebody else. I don't believe that. That's my personal opinion. So that looks better. This bird one here, I'm just going to flip it over because it says Once Upon a Time. And I'm going to take this washi. Just put it there. So, like, some of these pages are not, that's supposed to be a bubble bath, you guys. Like, anyway. So that's all I've done today, was showed you that I really had to switch these around from the words I was using. And yes, I could have left it. It would have looked nice, etc., etc. But I wanted to try this tracking before I got into the new year to see if this will work for me. I've never really been successful at tracking, but we're going to play it by ear. And then let's see the monthly. So here, in fact, I should, while I've got you guys, very quickly, I have to make calls, RBC, do later, sleep, to do, I'm going to put declutter because that's been a big part of my process. Do later, I'm going to just put 3, 4 jobs there. To do 1, 2, 3, top 3, and then most of all, be present. And priority is downsize for me. So here we are here. That was yesterday. And today is think, Mel, think. Start master priority lists. And so for me, what that means is a master priority list for me is when I look at, okay, this is my quarter term, if you will. What do I need for the next term? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just gonna start 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's 10. Yeah, 10, 11. So I have 11 major things to do. Plus 8 more. Write them out. And then these are like daily items. And this is the manifesto. Also, the budget. This one's really important. Okay, so again, we've got the index. Okay, that's not going to look good there, so that has to come off. Let's use one of these clippy doodads. Just looking at what they are. This is an angel one. These, I'm not sure where I got them. Maybe jet pens. They're all Fred Iconoclast in the shape of paper clips and bookmarks. In case you're wondering, and I got them years and years and years ago, 6 years ago. So I'm just going to put that here, just so I can flip to it easily because I have tabs all over the place. Okay, come on, poke up. Okay. So that's good because I can like easily get to that. Then for this one, where are my circly ones? I had a whole bunch. Here they are. So I'm going to put that up here. And then the weeks. Are here. And it needs color because I'm very like, I need the color. And then way back here, I've already put a little sticky tab. I'm going to put this guy. So there we go. For everyone out there that has been praying for my health, holding me in your heart, wishing me like health, wealth, well-being, thank you so much. I return the favor each and every time I think of all of you. I pray you're all doing well, that your situation is as best as it could possibly be, and that that really the best situation that could possibly be at this moment is happening for you. And I want us all to remember you're all perfectly imperfect. You are loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. You make a difference, whether you all want to know it or not. You guys make a difference. And thank you so much for tuning in. But most importantly, thank you for being here. And I appreciate you. I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.